Alright, so reality. Reality is what your mind thinks and your heart makes real. The walls, everything you're looking at right now, is created by your mind. But that alone cannot create your reality. It must come from your heart. Your heart is the engine room for creating what your mind thinks, or whatever is in your mind. When I had my near-death experience, I was told by God, which is this kind of this sunlight, that I would remember everything that I've learned. The omniscience and omnipotence of God. That means everything God is capable of, everything God is thinking, I would remember and bring back here, to this world. That means clairvoyance, telepathy, empathy. The closer you get to God, which is the sunlight, the solar sun, which is an energy, unconditional love. When I say love, please don't think fucking love. I mean unconditional love. When you get closer to this, you will have the gifts, telepathy, empathy. You will become more sensitive. These gifts come with the sensitivity. And it is a power, but in this world of barbarism, barbaric people, it's not seen as a power, but it is very powerful. See, when you're alive, we have these physical bodies, and it's nice to be big and strong, and it's nice to intimidate other people, and it's nice to be respected, and it's nice to have your ego. It's good in this world, in this fear frequency world. But in the other world, when you're dead, it don't matter. Yes, it's true. I'm the first one to tell you, it don't matter how big you are, who you are. It don't matter how many degrees you have, or how much money you have, or what kind of house you live in, or what kind of car you drive, or how many friends you have. It don't matter. You're on your own. That's right. You're on your own. But the neat thing is, if you can use this electricity, this solar sun, to power your reality, you can create anything you want. You can create your own world, your own universe. You can create anything. That's what God is. God is something that creates anything. It is beyond my imagination. I have been in God's mind, and is beyond the imagination. Quantum physics say there are 11 dimensions. When I was dead, and I became part of God, the omniscience and omnipotence of God, I saw trillions of dimensions. And it was possible to even make your own dimension. Dimensions within dimensions. In our galaxy, there are, what, 11 planets? Well, in reality, there are trillions of planets and trillions of universes with trillions of planets. It is way, way far beyond what you can imagine. The near-death experience, I think, should be called the death experience. I don't think the near-death experience is actually accurate. It just means you came near to death. But there's some people that actually died. Just physically, flat out, flatline, died, and then came back. There's something very odd on the other side, and It explains this reality very, very well. Not only in a physical, but in a spiritual sense. It's a very, very difficult world. But it's a challenge. It's a very big challenge to be in. I guess I don't really have any advice for anybody. Because I don't think really people follow advice. I think people follow their own ways. But there is a power, and we all have it. And we can exercise this power if we just realize what's important. And what's important after you're dead. By the way, death is also an illusion. We live forever. We live forever. Our lives are eternal. Infinite. Infinity. Our mind and our soul and our hearts, our feelings are indestructible. They're indestructible, and there's all possibilities. It is possible for us to live forever, even in these physical bodies. Even in these physical bodies, it's possible to time travel, to travel to other dimensions, to other worlds, and to create anything you want just by feeling and thinking about it. It is possible. It's not only possible, but science is catching up to my near-death experience. Quantum physics, and science is catching up. It's playing a catch-up game. Even technology is catching up to the near-death experience. It's catching up, and it's intersecting. I felt that I was sent back to be a bridge between that world and this world. And that bridge means getting closer to what God wants of this world, which is basically to get closer to the truth, which is unconditional love and pure freedom. It's a world where people stop hurting each other. Yeah, it's a miracle. If that ever happens. But eventually, it will. Love is very, very powerful. And again, I'm not talking about going out and fucking someone, love. I'm talking about just pure love. Unconditional love. It's a frequency, it's a feeling, it's a thought. And very, very few people have enough time to be in that field. But I don't really raise any hope for humanity. I'm just saying this is what happened when I died. Well, I came back, and it was even more difficult than I have ever imagined. It was very difficult to come back to this world. This world at first was just this wall of energy. Like looking at a big wall of electricity all around you. Just this white light all around me. It was very, very hard to create out of that white light, this white electricity all around me, into birds, trees, houses, cars, roads, rivers, water, air, the sky, to a dense form. Very, very difficult. I had to reduce the frequency, because the frequency was very, very high. After all, I was part of God. And what is God? It's just a very, very, very high frequency. It's a frequency that just can be anything. But it's very, very powerful. And I had to reduce the frequency by using, again, my heart, my feelings. And through my feelings, that frequency, that thought, had to be fear. It had to be fear. That reduces the frequency into making what I saw, the electricity, the energy around me, into certain objects, such as birds, trees, whatever, solid objects.